And we are live. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our weekly PDAX webinars. I am your host again for today. I'm Kyle. Nice to meet you all po. Welcome po. If you're just tuning in now or if this is your first time to tune in to our weekly webinars po, hello. We are PDAX and we are a BSP licensed virtual currency exchange where we trade uh, we trade cryptocurrencies and digital assets po. So if you guys missed last week's episode, which was with Nicole Alba, who talked about the news last week about Bitcoin reaching 11K, breaking these 11K levels, $11,000 levels, and just talking more and explaining more about what blockchain is, you can refer to our videos, no? If you go to our page, that was videos, you'll scroll down a bit. We have a playlist named PDAX Webinar Series where all of our webinars are there, no? So if you guys want to learn more about these weekly webinars that we're having, since we have these weekly webinars for you, our viewers, to be more educated on cryptocurrencies and digital assets, no? So if you guys want to tune in on that, go ahead and click that right after this webinar. But for this week's webinar, we will be having a very special guest with us today. Our very own, as you've seen in the poster, our very own CFO Kyle. So I'm Kyle also, but he's also Kyle. But anyway, the topic of this week's webinar will be about deconstructing USDT, the world's leading stablecoin, now available in Pdox. So for those who don't know, we launched USDT, which is a stablecoin, and we'll explain all about this. Don't worry, But just so you guys know, we launched USDT on Pdox on August 4, Tuesday, and here we are this Friday on our webinar to educate you guys more on what it is, and we'll be inviting you to ask your questions to us, and I'll just like interview. It will be a casual conversation like last week lang rin with Kyle to talk more about USDT. So if I may introduce Kyle. Hello, Kyle. Welcome to the webinar.
Hey Kyle, hey Katie.
Hey.
Hello everyone who's in the call. Nice to have
What?
you guys here with
Thank
us.
Thank you, Kyle, for coming again and spending your time with us. I know you're really busy, so I'm really excited and honored that you made time for us now for this weekly webinar to educate our viewers as well. Thank you. Okay, so I guess for just to get the ball rolling, no, we launched USDT on Tuesday, and siguro for those who don't know what USDT is, Kyle, could you explain what
Mhm.
USDT is?
Sure. So hello everyone to those here in the call. It's a privilege to be with you here today and share you about what USDT is and to help you understand right what it is as a cryptocurrency, how to trade it versus other cryptocurrencies, and understand what it really does and what it really means. So USDT, as Katie asked, it's pretty simple. It's a stable coin that actually latches onto the US dollar. So it is a digital representation of one US dollar, and you get to trade it. It's stable, so to speak. Once you purchase it, you will technically be purchasing US dollars behind the back. So that's technically USDT. It figuratively anchors or tethers itself to the price of the US dollar, 1:1. And basically as a stable coin, behind every USDT we have, there's a collateral of one US dollar that's actually backing that USDT that you own. It's the largest stable coin in the world, comprising around 80% of the value of all stable coins, the
Wow,
market capitalization.
so it really is the world's like leading stablecoin, no?
Correct.
And siguro for those uninitiated, Kyle, there are
Mhm.
people who just think that cryptocurrencies are just the blanket, no? So like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple. So I guess they would be pretty surprised to hear that, hey, why is there a US dollar? What is US dollar doing? What does this US dollar have to do with blockchain and cryptocurrency, no? And like,
Mhm.
why is it uh, like how is this made possible by blockchain even?
Mm, good question. So, US dollars or stable coins in general, you can think of it basically as digital cash, right? You have your physical pesos, physical US dollar bills, and then you have digital cash. It's not e-wallets, it's a step further than it. It's digital cash. For those who want to explore the concept more and how it relates to cryptocurrency, it's basically a coin or token, right? A cryptocurrency that has the qualities of cryptocurrency, meaning it's cheaper, faster, and 24/7. You can do borderless payments. It's an alternative form of e-payment, so it's a cryptocurrency, but it is stable. So it's not as volatile as the other cryptocurrencies you know of, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ether, and XRP, right? And because it is stable, right, stable coin, it can be used to store value. And if you think about it, it expands or builds on the use case of cryptocurrency as a mode of payment, right? For retailers, multinationals, even yourself, if you want to send money to someone, you can send that money, and the fluctuation in the price of that money as a store value would not change as much, because as we all know, US dollar to pesos, for example, does not fluctuate as much as Bitcoin to peso. So
Right.
that's the technology behind it. It marries the two concepts of cryptocurrency and a fiat coin, which is a US dollar. That's the main purpose of a stable coin.
Understood. So 1 USDT is equal to 1 USD. It's value basically, right?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. And so for those just to also get to speed, no, when was USDT created, no? Was it has it been here for a while, like when
Mm,
how did it come to be, no?
mhm. Yeah, it came to be. It was minted. The first minting of USDT was around 6 years ago, back in 2014. So if you think about it, right, in the great spectrum of the timeline, Bitcoin went out around 2008, 2009, and then USDT around 5 years after. So it's not one of the first ones, to be
Right.
point blank. But it solved a main issue, which was how can we send cash from one country to another, from one person to another, and remove the volatility of Bitcoin. I still want to send cash quick, send it fast, send it 24/7, um, but I'd want it to be stable. And that was why it was created in the first place back in 2014.
Understood. And like you're saying that someone from across the world, like we're here now in the Philippines, right? We can send
Mhm.
someone in like the States, um, States kasi USDT. But I mean, not necessarily just the States, right? Like I can send someone USDT, and if that person would accept it, then that would be as good as USDT. And I'd be like,
Correct.
per like um, performing a transaction with that person. And I
Mhm.
guess that's one of the game breaking things that people are starting to realize also about blockchain, because it's not just about
Mhm.
like Bitcoin's rapid volatility going up or going down, but it's also its use cases, no? And
Mhm.
just to like delve deeper on that, like um, so I said before, now you can use USDT as a form of payment. What other
Mhm.
usages does USDT have for us, for anyone who wants to use USDT, and like what applications can one use in USDT?
Sure, sure. So I'd say if the main applications, the main use cases for USDT could be broken down to four, right? And let's spend some time under each of these four. The first one is store of value. Second one is a method of transfer. The third one is a mode of payment, and fourth is FX trading. And I want to color how under these four use cases it's relevant for Filipinos, not just for traders or crypto traders themselves, or like people who are from foreign countries, but precisely how it's relevant for Filipinos, right? So the first one is as a store of value, right? It's basically, if for a trader, if you want to take a break, you want to lock in your profit, so to speak. Due to its stable nature, USDT is a great source of store of value. Meaning, okay, you already got a gain of like 10% in Bitcoin, for example, or 8% in XRP, and you want to lock in the profits, but you can convert your Bitcoin into USDT momentarily, right? Take a break, rest
Right.
your profits. Due to its stable nature, you won't be exposed to the volatility of the other cryptocurrencies. First one, star value. For a lot of Filipinos, it's good that in PDAX we use PHP as a store of value as well, so you can just sell and hold your pesos. But now we also have a secondary store of value. If you, in case you don't want to be exposed to the Philippine peso and be exposed to the US dollar, then that's a second use case, right? So store of value. The second one is as a method of transfer. What does that mean? A method of transfer. We see a lot of Filipinos here in the Philippines, right, using exchanges or brokerages to purchase crypto and then sending it to global exchanges like Binance or BitMEX or OKX, right?
Right.
A lot of our kababayans, maraming gumagawa nun. And it's a good use case as a method of transfer because it is faster and cheaper than Bitcoin, for example. You pay less network fees. I think average network fee now for Bitcoin will be around 0.001 BTC, right?
Right.
For USDT, it's just one USDT, so it's like 10% cost. It's also faster, right? For Bitcoin, if you were to move it like from one exchange to another wallet, one wallet to another wallet, it would take around, depending on the network fee, from 15 minutes to like 4 hours.
Right.
Whereas for USDT, it will just take less than 5 minutes or less than
Very
10
quick.
minutes. Correct. So if you want to trade right away, you can move it to a different exchange and then trade it and then be able to trade there as quickly as possible. So that's one of the use cases we see. That's why we brought it here in PDAX for Filipinos. The third one is as a mode of payment. This is actually what I'm most excited about, a mode of payment, right?
Right.
What do I mean about that?
Yeah.
A lot of Filipinos do cross-border payments between institutions, suppliers. If you have a Chinese supplier, or if you're exporting to the US, for example, um, and you need to pay someone US dollars, or you need to receive your US dollars back to the Philippines, guess what? No? It takes you like 2 to 3 days to receive the US dollars. You have to pay yung Swift bank charges of around $20 or $15, and it's just costly. It takes a lot of time, not efficient. So we're seeing a growing use case for USDT as a mode of payment between companies, between institutions, between SMEs, right? And lastly, the fourth one is FX trading. So simple FX trading. You want to be exposed to the US dollar instead of the Philippine peso. You think it will appreciate, right? You can purchase US dollars instead, and then hold on to it, and then sell it once
And it
US dollar
appreciates.
appreciates relative to the peso. So it's for hedging, for speculation, things like that. FX trading, for use cases of USDT.
Nice. Just to recap what you said, no, Kyle, and for everyone. For those just tuning in, welcome again to our weekly webinars. Here we're talking about our Deconstructing USDT as PDAX, our exchange. We've recently just launched USDT, which is the world's leading stablecoin. And talking about the applications of USDT, Kyle mentioned that USDT can be a store of value, number one. Number two, a method of transfer. Number three, a mode of payment. And number four, FX trading. No, I'm really excited about the mode of payment one, Kyle. No, I
Mm,
agree with you. Like if we were to send to someone abroad, let's say China or like US even, right? Like the more hands that your money gets passed on to, the less of that
mm,
money is received to the supplier or to your end user, right? And
correct.
so if we use USDT and if that person would be willing to accept USDT as a form of payment, which is like one USDT is equal to one USD, then we can just have it that we'll just ask for the person's wallet address and then we'll just
Mm,
send it over to them for the cost of $1.2, right?
mm,
Yeah,
Exactly,
versus like
exactly.
the traditional methods, which would be north of it's percentage even. Some of them are percentage based, right? So it can
Correct,
really
correct.
take away a lot from what you send.
Yeah,
And
I,
I
I I
think
actually have, oh, Katie, to your point, right?
right,
I actually have some friends who are into distributorships or importers, and they tell me, like for example, you're an Alibaba business, meaning you have a supplier in Alibaba, or you want to purchase and then you import the goods to the Philippines. Masakit sa ulo magbayad sa Alibaba because
right.
they usually charge in all around 5% fees, right?
Wow.
You have to pay bank charges. You need to pay FX spread,
Mm-mm.
meaning if a US dollar to peso is 50 pesos to a dollar, uh, gagawin nila mga ano yan, 50.8 or 51. So you
Wow.
pay a bit more. All in all, it's around, if you're good, you get to put it down to 3%, but averagely it's like 3 to 5%. And so that's something that can be circumvented now for US dollar, USDT. And it's much quicker. You don't need to have the 2 day period where the payment will clear or settle. You can also basically send USDT and they'll receive it within the day, within the next few minutes.
Within the hour even, yeah, even with the next
Exactly.
few minutes. So I think like um, having this on our exchange, at least it provides a lot more opportunities for everyone to use this as a mode of payment or even or acquiring USDT, right?
Correct.
And yeah, it's I just find it like mind blowing because to add to your point, I think there's a statistic out there on
Hmm.
remittances, right? Like
Hmm.
currently we have 10%, please correct me if I'm wrong, 10% of Philippines are OFWs, or at least a lot of
Hmm.
our economy is also based on like remittances, right? So
Hmm.
imagine that the amount of remittances that goes into the Philippines, I'm sure it gets taken away in from all the bank transfer fees and everything. That really plays
Correct.
yeah, yeah, right. Well, so so yeah, given we have the usages and applications of USDT, no, siguro we can like delve a bit into the future of USDT, right? Like, what do you think
Hmm.
is there in store for USDT as they just like how can we all possibly make the most out
Hmm.
of USDT?
Sure, sure. I'd say it's two main populations or two main groups can make the most out of USDT being brought to the Philippines through PDAX. No? There's a main reason why we wanted to bring USDT. The first one is for the Philippine businesses, and the second one is for traders, right? For Philippine businesses, there's the obvious MSME business application for importers, exporters. For example, multinationals, right? They need to send profits back to their home country. What they can do is they purchase USDT through PDAX, send it over to their home country, an exchange in their home country, convert it into their home country's currency, and then cash it out. Right? Simpler. It doesn't
Right,
need to change so many hands. They're just moving it across the rail with themselves. Or more relevantly, right? More locally, local SME that imports from China. And you have to pay your suppliers in US dollars, and the converse of that, right? A Filipino enterprise, like Human Nature, for example, that exports and sells goods abroad. They need to
right.
remit profits back to our home country.
Mhm.
Well, why do they need to be subject to the large
Percentages.
in percentage exposure, right? They can just use US dollars as well and USDT as well and make it much simpler and faster. So we see that this will be a growing use case, a growing application, a growing desire to use USDT rather than the common US dollar rails that we have. It's obvious for a lot of people to use it. There's billions of USDT in volume that's being traded every day, so it's actually well tested. The thing is, who's ready to start it next? When will it become a mainstream activity, right? So we're banking upon it becoming more mainstream, and that's why we're bringing it into the Philippines through PDAX to give people an opportunity to use it as a rail, as a remittance rail. The second future use case I'd say is for traders. As I mentioned a while ago, it's a easier way, a faster way, a cheaper way to transfer, your assets, your cryptocurrency, from one exchange to another. So, for example, someone wants to cash out from Binance, bring it back to the Philippines. Pwede nilang gamitin yung USDT uh, rather than BTC, right? Lower cost, more real time. Uh, in the same manner, if they want to send crypto to Binance from Pdox, then it's also cheaper and faster for them. So we're always looking out for that now, how to make it easier, cheaper for our users, and for our traders. That's one of the reasons we brought USDT in.
Right. To add to your point, Kyle, if I'm not mistaken, 0.001, right, BTC to transfer, right? If we convert that now, it's roughly like 600 pesos na.
Correct.
So if people would to start transferring using USDT, it would
Mhm.
cost just 10% of that, which is crazy. Like just 10%,
Correct.
which
Correct.
is like 60 pesos to transfer any amount, regardless of the volume. Basta one
Mhm.
transaction, boom, you send it. 1.3 USDT lang. And
Correct.
yeah,
It's not actually 10%. It's less because it's basically one USDT.
right.
And I want to clear to our viewers as well that yung cost ng fee na yan, the 0.001 BTC or this one USDT, that's not something PDAX charges. It's basically the network fee that the blockchain miners will charge. So we don't take profits out of that.
Very true.
It's just really the network fee that needs to be paid to move your assets from one wallet to another. Mm.
Yes. And if you guys want to like learn more, we had like a webinar last week where we talked about blockchain, no? And we sort of delved into this where um, there needs to be fees that are associated with transferring our money to other addresses.
Mhm.
And syempre, we encourage you to uh, conduct more research and like educate yourselves to learn more about these stuffs. But the essence of it is we the transfer fees that you're experiencing that from one wallet address to another, these are standard fees set by the network of the blockchain and not something we profit off as PDA. So
Mhm.
thank you for making that clear, Kyle. No, so yeah, that'd be really cool. No, do you think if there is a USDT, is it possible that other countries or even our own country to have our own stablecoin? Like, is what are your thoughts on that?
For sure. I think outside of USDT, right, on stablecoins in general, I think the next frontier is for our own country, for the Philippines, to have our own stablecoin. Uh, it's possible because in so many other countries like Hong Kong or Europe, England, or Canada, they've also introduced stable coins already. So you have stable coins like THKD, TCAD, T Euro, and these stable coins really talk to the local population, right? Into the Philippines, I think those who are more educated would say, "Oh yeah, I've heard of RCBC's coin. I've heard of Union Bank, of course, developing their own coin as well. And most recently, right, the our own BSP thinking of issuing their own stable coin,
Right.
the digital coin in the Philippines. I think that's the next frontier. It's going to be pretty exciting, especially something backed by the central bank. I'll tell you something. If it's backed by a central bank, it no longer just becomes a stable coin. Um, what it's called is a CDBC, right? CBDC, a
Central
central
backed
bank.
digital currency.
Exactly, a central
Uh,
bank digital currency. And what it basically means, it's still a stable coin, but because it is a CBDC, and a lot of people have different opinions. Like, is it better for the central bank to issue it, or a private institution, or a decentralized place? But if it's a CBDC, what we see more likely happening uh, is the level of confidence is higher, which most likely translates to the level of adoption being higher as well. So that's
Agreed.
something pretty exciting to look for. No
That is
worries.
exciting. I hope we can see it soon enough. Yes. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So I think there really is a lot of development in this field and space, and it's really something to look out for and be excited about. No.
Hmm.
Um, so before we move on and continue more with our conversations, I just like to say hi again to our viewers. Hello again to you, our viewers. Welcome to the weekly webinar. No, it's just a conversation with Kyle Kua, our CFO, and we're just talking about uh, the launch of USDT on Pdox on our platform and exchange, and we're just talking about its history, its usages, its future, and like all the possibilities that one can have with USDT. You know, and if you guys
Hmm.
have any questions, you the audience have any questions, just type them over, comment it over. We'll feature some of your questions given the time that we have, um, and then we'll just go from there. So just go ahead and ask your questions. So siguro I'll start na lang by featuring one of the questions our viewers ask, Kyle. There
Sure. Go
is
ahead.
a question here by Rico Jr. Why USDT over PAX or USDC? So for those who don't know what PAX or USDC even is, Kyle, maybe you can explain how there's not just one kind of stablecoin na USD.
Sure. Sure. It's a good question. It means Rico Jr. Hey, knows his stable coins now. Um, so there's in the realm of stable coins, there's a lot of different types of coins, currencies, and all. Of course, the largest one is stable coins on are backed by the US dollar, right? I think the three largest stable coins are all US dollar denominated, and uh, he's correct. USDC, PAX are one of the biggest ones. I think they're in the top four. The main reason why we chose USDT is its adoption, its size, its market capitalization. If you look into the numbers, USDT comprises 80% of stable, around it moves now, around 80 to 90% of stable coin market capitalization, meaning it's widely used, widely adopted. And when you look into the channels, there's a lot of exchanges, the most number of exchanges accept USDT. So we find that, by welcoming USDT in particular over the others, um, it would be most relevant or most used, most usable for our PDAX users, for our PDAX traders. That's the main reason.
All right. Yeah. So thank you for your question, Rico. That's a really good question. Yeah. So to add to that point, no, Kyle, like, uh,
Mhm.
would it matter to our, well, it does matter because USDT, which is launched on our platform, it has one of the highest market capitalizations. It's widely accepted among all most crypto exchanges. So that would be a really good addition to have if you wanna have an easy way to just sell your Bitcoin and send it to someone else. No?
Mhm.
Yeah, great. Another question here by June Mark. The USDT on PDAX, so is it supported by I think he meant ERC20, Omni Wallet, or TRC20? I think I can
Sure.
answer this. You can
Go
answer
ahead.
this. Kyle. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kat.
Uh, okay, so it is supported by ERC20, which I think is a no. I think it's better explained by Kyle. So what is ERC20, Kyle? It's a protocol on Ethereum, but yeah,
Mhm. So all of these three are blockchain networks. So ERC20, Omni Wallet, TRC. And the interesting thing about USDT, it is blockchain agnostic, meaning it can be minted, but you can create
right.
USDT out of
Oh,
from on different networks.
right.
Ethereum network, Omni network. The two largest ones are Omni and Ethereum. And right now, to give more color to his question and to answer it, the reason why we chose ERC20 uh, is because we see a growing shift on the ERC20 network. Most of the coins that are being minted are on the ERC or on the Ethereum network. and that's why we chose that. So in case you are to choose, I think if you're familiar with in Binance, you are to choose between these three options. You have to click your 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 exchange that you're sending your USDT to Pdax is on the ERC20 network. Mhm.
Right. Yes. Um, yeah. So it's ERC20 supported. We support ERC20 now. Okay. Thank you for that. We'll just go and have entertain more questions before we go on a bit.
Sure.
Yes, we have a question from Justin. It's not totally related to
Mhm.
USDT, but he said, "Is ADA, Cardano, a cryptocurrency, going to be
Mhm.
listed in PDAX?" So I guess it's a good opportunity to ask the CFO while he's here right now, guys. Right? So
No, I won't be giving any definitive answers now, but I'll tell you about our criteria or how we choose as to what coins will be listed. We're not shelling ourselves or closing ourselves. No, just these six or just these seven cryptocurrencies. These are the only ones we're listing. No, we're open to add more cryptocurrencies, add more assets into PDAX. Our main criteria is what's the purpose of it? How will Filipinos be able to,
benefit.
if we bring a coin, how will they benefit? How will they get to use it? And if we see there's a use case, there's a potential reason for them to do so. There's a clamor for it, right? And it's not a fake coin. We don't want to, or I don't want to, it's a, I'll just call it a
I
fake coin.
Yeah, fake coin. Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Yung mga
We don't
joke
want
coins.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. We don't want to bring those coins in. So we have a meticulous layer of validating if the coin is something that is legitimate, so that when Filipinos get to use it, when they go into PDAX and say, oh, that's an interesting coin, they know that it's something they could trade, and it's vetted already by ourselves as an exchange. So for ADA, it's for sure has, for ADA, for Cardano, it's for sure has gone into our radar. You've heard users talking about it, asking for it. We're checking out, we're scoping if it's something that will fit the use case for Filipinos.
Yes. But yeah, just to add na it's not we don't we do not we hear you and we hear your feedback, and we just really want to make sure and vet all of the coins that we post and list on our exchange so that we can uh, we don't want to lose your trust. That's number one as well, right? Like we
Mhm.
want to be we are the trust we are trusted exchange, and we want to remain that way. Okay. We have a question from Antonino. He says, "Can I gain more in USDT other than crypto when it comes on investment?"
Mhm.
I think
Sure.
Kyle touched on this before, no, Antonino, na there were usages for USDT. Like it can be a store of value, it can be a mode of payment. You can trade it for FX. So I mean, all of these use cases are different, and like none of these investments are a sure thing. Like as always, these are um, uh, it's these are things that are set by the market every day, and it
Mhm.
changes. And if someone offers you some guarantee on um, of a gain, then that sounds fishy already, and you should be wary of people saying that. Yeah. So I mean, what are your thoughts, Kyle, on that? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as a company, as PDAX, as an exchange, we don't offer investment advice. Uh, and a question like to gain more in USDT, the honest, the disciplined response here is in terms of volatility, right? USDT is not as volatile. If you do the standard deviation, the measures of volatility, it is not as volatile as the other cryptocurrencies. So ibig sabihin nun, Antonina, no, is more likely than not, it won't gain as much in case you were to purchase it. It won't gain as much as the other cryptocurrencies. But that's a volatility assumption. Because it's more stable, more likely it won't jump in price as much. But who knows, given market conditions, we're not sure. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. Thank you, Antonino, for that question. Another question from Rico Jr. Is it a
Sure.
possibility for PDAX to offer the stablecoins of other countries, such as
Mm,
China's crypto yen?
mhm.
Rico
Yes,
Jr. is
as mentioned a while
very
ago,
informed. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
yes. But as stated a while ago now, these are all possibilities. The important check for us whether we will list a coin or not in PDAX is the use case, whether Filipinos need it, whether Filipinos will use it. So if we see a large, rail between Philippines and China, and using yen, and being able to list it, then yes, we will. Uh, and if, of course, it's allowed by the BSP, yes, we will. Uh, but as of writing, or as of this moment, there's no developments yet on whether we will list a second stablecoin like the Chinese yen.
Yeah. Let's focus first on us launching USDT and how great that launch is first before we delve. Thank you though. Thank you very much, Rico. We have here from Luge. I don't necessarily understand the question no, pero may we
Sure.
know who officially identifies market cap widely used adopt stablecoin?
Oh,
Did you,
yeah.
did you
Uh, yeah, that's a good question, Rich. Uh, if you check the numbers, I think on the internet, if you do your research, you'll see different institutions, different exchanges saying different numbers in market cap. So what normally is done is you average what these exchanges, what these institutions say. I think the average market cap, if you do your research, is between $9 billion to $11 billion for USDT. So if you average it out, it's around thereabouts of $10 billion. Its market capitalization. So there is no one single institution, right, that will say this is the market cap, because there are a lot of nuanced layers behind calculating what market capitalization is. Do you include, and I won't delve into that, but there's a lot of fine layers to it. The best rule of thumb thing to do is to average what all of these institutions and exchanges are doing. Um, and which one is more widely used in the same manner, right? So you just average it out, and then you find out. You do the weighted average, you do the sizing of each uh, stable coin from there.
Yes. So thank you, Luch, for your question. Hi Ernesto, a regular on our webinar as well, no? May update na ba kayo regarding tax sa digital currencies sa Pilipinas?
Sure.
Asking all the right questions, our viewers. All right. Okay.
Mhm. To be honest, Nesta, no update yet on this. Whether it's tax or not, there's no issuance yet, no, by our government. So right now we just follow protocol. All transactions, or we follow conservative protocol. All transactions on the exchange, the revenue that we charge, transaction fees that we charge, we put VAT onto it. But it's VAT inclusive already. That's the only tax implication you should think of for now.
Nice. Okay. Thank you, Ernesto. Yeah, I'll just go on to not related to the exchange of it, but I think since we want to answer your inquiries, no, it's not totally related. How long is it going to take for new users on PDAX to get verified? It's been 4 days already. So we apologize very much,
Mm.
Argel. We do not, we rest assured we are actively checking our verification process, and it's just taking a while because there's been an influx of people verifying. No? We're doing our best to make sure that you get verified as soon as possible. If possible, you can also send us a ticket on our support page. We'll link it later. No, then you can submit a ticket, and we'll get back to you on that. So thank
Hmm.
you, Archer.
Hmm. It's our Katie, Kyle. It's our goal to, and Arnell, man. It's our goal to streamline, to make the process as quick as possible. And it's unfortunate that there was this influx of signups, of verifications inside our platform. But rest assured, I know at the back scenes, right, the team is doing its best to streamline the process, to reduce the lag. as much as possible for that, so that all our users could be verified as soon as possible and be able to trade as fast as possible as well.
Yes. So please bear with us. Thank you very much, Argel. Moving on to Nicole. Hi, Nicole. Would you say that stablecoins are more used for medium of exchange or transactions compared to crypto? Or is the latter still more used since they can be seen as more popular?
Medium of exchange or transactions, particularly. A good question, Nicole. Um, there in across the world, people are shifting to stable coins as a method of exchange or a medium of exchange, or as a peer-to-peer payment, right? Because when you're paying from your supplier, for example, you're moving hands from one person to another, and changing and sending over your asset, your payment. One of the important criteria, right, is stability. You don't want to be exposed, and you're thinking, 1 week from now I'll pay this guy 1 million pesos, and then BTC goes up, but you're already holding the BTC. Well, it's good, yes, you'll pay him like quote unquote 500,000 of the historical cost, but if it goes down, you're likewise disadvantaged, right? So people don't like that uncertainty, that volatility. So a lot of people end up using USDT now. I think from the start of 2020 to today, it's grown in usage by more than it's now like around 150% in 150% increase in usage just in the 6 months or 7 months alone. And but it doesn't discredit the usage of Bitcoin, of other cryptocurrencies as a method of payment. When I think I was around 2 years ago, I remember I was touring in Europe. I was in Europe, like, and I saw I think it was in Prague. No? A lot of museums, a lot of shops were accepting Bitcoin and
Wow.
XRP as mode of payments.
Wow.
So that does not discredit the fact that there's still adoption in this manner. Case in point, there are moves towards credit cards that are denominated in cryptocurrency. What do I mean by that? Um, you can hold your cryptocurrencies as an asset, but at the moment of purchase, right, at the moment of sale, your cryptocurrency gets converted to your local currency, and the vendor, right, the Shopee or the Lazada, the vendor, the seller will get fiat currency instantaneously converted
Wow.
through exchanges like ours. So there are movements wherein, yes, you can still be exposed to the volatility if you want to be, if you're bullish on the cryptocurrency. So it depends. But
Right.
generally, due to its stability, USDT is preferred by businesses, by institutions.
Nice. Okay. Thank you, Nicole, for your question. Moving on. Yeah, follow-up question from Argel. Does USDT support TRC? Currently, PDAX supports ERC20, as stated a while ago. So thank you.
Sure.
Hi, Luge. Thank you, Luge, for asking the questions again. So related to the point a while ago, yung touring around Europe and like seeing shops and merchants accepting um, crypto as a form of payment. I think this is related somehow. Why not PDAX partner with merchants to establish a process of use case? What do you think about it? So,
Sure,
I
sure.
mean,
No, we're happy to partner. We're happy to talk
yeah,
with merchants, stores, institutions with this. Um, Obviously, it's something that needs some development, some business partnerships. We're always open to talk with merchants, partner with institutions, talk with um, companies to make this available in the Philippines. So if
yes,
ever you're listening and you're here, yeah, feel free to send out a message to us. We're happy to scope out projects like these as well.
yes. Thank you, Luge. Here's one from Lawrence Kyle. I think
Sure.
we were, yeah. They say USDT isn't really backed by real USD. Your thoughts, please.
Hmm. Yes,
Okay.
that's true. I think back in 2016 to 2018, Lawrence, you may have heard of this. They have USDT and its company, right, Tether Limited, um, have been subject to controversies and bad
Controversy.
media.
Right.
The reason behind it is because they did not subject themselves back then to an independent third party audit to say, yes, the collateral, the US dollars are not really there, or to say that it is really there, right? And so, but here's the thing now. We're not here to judge or not. What we see in face value is a big majority, right? 70, 80, 90% of the market of stable coins is in USDT. And that in itself is a measure of acceptance, right? People across the world, across countries, across exchanges, use USDT and store their assets in USDT, which, if you think about it, is a form of acceptance, is a form of thinking that, hey, it should work. We trust the company. And so that's the reason why we still brought it in, despite the confusion of the controversies back in 2016 to 2018.
Yes. So thank you for asking that question, Lawrence. I hope it was clearly explained by Kyle over here. All right. So we have one more from Rico Jr. Very the
Erika.
Hey Rico again. How do you compare the usage of USDT and XRP? A stablecoin's purpose is to mimic fiat, but also can be used as a means for quickly transferring funds and cheaply transferring
Mhm.
funds. XRP, on the other hand, markets itself as a coin for cross-border transactions for being cheap and fast as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. So it's difficult to compare and contrast the two, you know. They both offer the same use case, and they're both interesting to talk about. They're both interesting to have a conversation on. Um, I'd say how you decide, or if you were to think about how do you compare and contrast the two, it's a matter of choice, right? Both offer the same thing in the same manner. You know, you choose Apple or Samsung, you choose Jollibee or McDonald's. It's something you choose. The user will end up choosing between questions like who do I trust more, what do I think is faster, what is more cost efficient, what does which one is offered in the country I'm at, right? If I need to do a cross-border payment, I need to find an exchange in the home country, an exchange in Philippines, hopefully PDAX. Which one is offered? So there's your own criteria, I think, will factor in deciding which of the two is the better choice. But for us in PDAX, we think both are great choices. That's why obviously we've listed them in
Offer
our
both.
platform and offer both.
Yeah.
Correct.
Giving you the user more selection, and it's better ultimately for the consumer because that would give better prices as well, and like more choices in
Mhm.
general is a good thing. So thank you, Rico. Thank you for being a regular as well to our weekly webinars. No? We have one from Bargs. No, how about crypto to USDT? Is this available? Yeah, good
Mhm.
question, Bargs. No? Um, yeah,
Hey, Bugs. Sure. So right now in PDAX,
Kyle. I think we I think we lost Kyle for a second here. Hold on. Let me just.
hello, I think I got lost again.
Hi.
But
Yeah. Hey, Kyle.
you guys can hear me well now.
Yes.
Thanks.
Can you guys
No,
hear?
so
Okay. Uh,
okay. So in the Philippines, in PDAX, we don't have crypto to USD T yet, right? We're obviously scoping out whether people need it, people would want it. How it works out is you can purchase USDT, and then if you want to convert, you'll have to go to pesos first before purchasing the crypto. It's not that big of a shift because it's a small fee, but we're scoping out whether or not we should have a crypto to USDT pair, whether there's a need for it for our users. So
yes.
if you think there's a need, please let us know.
Yeah.
We're open to scope it out to add it as one of our crypto pairs.
Yes. And we're always listening to you. So thank you for giving your feedback as well, Barks. Yeah. So I guess we can uh, wrap it up, no, siguro, Kyle. Um, just to wrap it all up, and maybe um, you can add some. I'll just say this Tuesday, this past Tuesday, just 3 days ago, we launched, PDAX launched USDT, and By launching USDT, this provides you, our users, more selections and more a more another possibility for um, an option for knowing for having an option to trade USDT, and it's not just the um, XRP or BTC or if Ether. We're giving you a stable coin for once, and we hope that you guys uh, trade more and use it as well to experience these benefits. Yeah, I guess that would
Mm,
be on my end. Uh,
not sure.
yeah,
On my end, I'm happy to have joined this discussion, KD, and helped. Our viewers had great questions, and I'm happy to have helped answer them. Hopefully, they've learned something from this conversation, and that their trust in PDAX just gets added more and more. And we're always happy to serve. We're always happy to find what they want next, and if there's a use case for it, if there's an actual use case, and help vet it for them. We're happy to bring it into the Philippines. So we're always listening. Feel free to message us out in our channels, sending a ticket, Facebook, all that, and we're happy to hear what you'd want us to work on next. And thank you for having me, Kyle.
thank
Hopefully, our users learned something from this.
Yes, thank you so much, Kyle. Thank you to our viewers. Before I officially end this webinar, no, because you guys reached it until the very end, I have a treat for you. So if you cash in a minimum of 1,000 pesos with the referral code webinar, so if you cash in our exchange, you will receive a 50 peso cashback credited to your account. So thank you for reaching this far, no, and I hope in our future webinars, you'll stick around till the end so that you can receive these exclusive promos and like freebies, or not freebies, but like treats that you can receive at the end of this webinar. So just
Yes,
to
yes.
sum it all up again, thank you, Kyle. Thank you to our viewers. If you guys want to see, let us know in the comments what you guys want to see next for our future webinars. Now we have this every week. And if you want to see our past videos, you can go to our videos tab. We have a playlist where it's named PDAX Webinar Series, where all of our past webinars were there, featuring Lazada's head of acquisition to traders from Z Freaks, Investagram's live charting session. So we have weekly, and we want to continually post for you guys and create content for you guys so that you guys are more educated, no? And yeah, we have something special for next week's webinar. It will be secret na lang, pero stay tuned and find out more for it, no? So once again, thank you, Kyle, thank you, everyone, and we'll see you guys next week. Yeah,
Take care, guys. Bye bye.
take care, guys.